A large portion of human history tells the story of man versus nature. We fight to conquer the resources at our disposal and use them for the betterment of our lives. This can range anywhere from farming to mining to power plants. But sometimes, nature fights back. I like to call these episodes environmental threats. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and earthquakes would all fall under this category, but also the boll weevil that ravaged American crops in the late 19th century, or even the large mosquito population that interfered with the construction of the Panama Canal in the early 1900s. From large to small, the environment has interfered with human history since the dawn of time, sometimes helping and sometimes hurting. So, what should we do about it? Some would say that we should bend the environment to our will, reshape the natural world until it conforms perfectly to our needs. Others, like myself, would prefer a more passive approach. This is the emu, a large, majestic flightless bird which migrates seasonally. It also loves wheat. For much of Western Australia, that was a problem. Emus like wheat. They like eating wheat. And during the Great Depression, guess what Australian farmers were growing? Wheat. Alright, not a problem. So what if an emu or two breaks in to munch some grain? It can't be that big of a deal, right? Right. Unless they were, say, migrating in flocks, because that's what they do. In which case you would have around 20,000 giant 6-foot birds running around your fenced-in land, breaking stuff and eating your only source of income, in the middle of the Great Depression. Nobody liked this. So the Australian government got together to devise a solution. Or more accurately, Sir George Pearce, the Minister of Defence, devised a solution. They would start one of the first interspecies wars, the Great Emu War. And that's how the emu went extinct. It was bombed out of existence by bloodthirsty Australians. Just kidding. The emus won, and that's unacceptable. Not because we shouldn't lose wars to flightless birds, but because our first solution to environmental threats shouldn't be, let's murder an entire species. So I took the liberty of creating a diagram for the possible reactions to this kind of thing. Here we have a range of responses to human v nature conflicts, going from active aggression to passive resistance. For the uninitiated, that's complete bloodthirst to ignore it and hope it goes away. This is where we want to be. The environment is important, and everything in it is connected. Removing any one piece of the natural world could result in the Jenga tower collapsing. Our presence should have as little impact on the planet as possible if we want everything to keep working as it should. So, should those farmers have stopped production entirely? Packed up, gone home, shut the wheat fields down for eternity? No, that's ridiculous. We can't starve humanity to save the planet. But we also can't destroy the planet to feed humanity. What if the Emu War had been a success? What if they truly had been exterminated? The emu, at least in Australia, likely would have ended similarly to the passenger pigeon, extinct. The aggressive approach, hunting the birds until they stopped being a problem, would have caused a huge damage to the environment, and likely wouldn't have been worth future costs. But does this kind of statement always ring true? Should we never take an aggressive approach towards invasive or economy-damaging environmental threats? Yes, at least for now. So far, we've been unsuccessful determining the full impact of our actions on the environment. To the skeptical, I give you the cane toad. This is the cane toad, another species currently prevalent in Australia. When sugarcane farmers had their crops destroyed by cane beetles, this toad was their solution. They wanted a total eradication of the beetles for the sake of their profit. And the cane toad was said to be skilled in this area, hence the name. Several were brought to Australian suitcases and were released upon the unsuspecting beetle population, and promptly everything else. See, this toad has a defense system, a kind of venom that is capable of killing animals 3 times the size of a human. Because of the lack of natural predators capable of combating this chemical concoction, the toads multiplied. Now, there are over 1 billion of them, and they are considered one of the top 100 invasive species in the world. And they're spreading. They kill pets, humans, wild animals, plants, and insects alike. They have an insatiable appetite matched only by their capacity to adapt to new environments. They are, in a word, unstoppable. As seen with the cane toad, our response to an environmental threat should never be drastic. We may sometimes succeed when we take drastic methods, but the side effects certainly always match. So put down your guns, don't take that risk, and stop shooting those emus. Thank you.